Hey guys, gonna be working on this card today. Got the 2080 Ti Asus ROG Strix. It's the top card here on this list. Getting some hardware errors every once in a while, so I'm running at 100 megahertz less, and the temps are a little hotter. Getting 65 on the memory versus the other one, 58, 56 on the front card. Haven't done pads or thermal paste on it yet, so I'm gonna get this card taken apart and see what we have in there. So I got the card on the desk here, and I'm noticing all these little weird spots, all in a perfect line. I've got some older motherboards where heat sinks have lost their color, so I don't know if that's due to heat or what. Very weird. So it came apart pretty easy, just 6 screws, probably the easiest I've taken apart a card. And the pads look like to be older good quality, so I'm not sure if I'm going to swap those out. Maybe I'll just try doing some paste first, see how it goes. Even though the heatsink came off really easy to get to the paste, this whole frame here looks like there might be a lot of screws to get that apart, and I'm not sure if I'm in the mood for that today. Just see what doing paste does for it. So of course I took it apart more. These little dots are really throwing me off. So I took off the back plate. And there's nothing under there that follows that same pattern. And there's nothing on the back side. I don't know what that is. If you guys have seen that before on these, let me know. Let's check out these pads. Alright, I'm glad I took this thing apart. These things are like really, they're dry. They're like hard as a rock. Not much left to them. This one's nice still. It looks like I only just need to do the memory. Those are really dried up. So I took the thermal pad that was going across here, since this piece wasn't squished. That's that. I put one next to it, and one is almost what it squishes down to. So I'm going to start with 1.5. These are pretty squishy, so they squish down well. They're the G-Lit Extremes, so they got a little bit of extra give to them. You can see I tried them on something else where they were too thin for another project, so I slapped them back on there. So I did a quick test here. I've seen guys talk about putting thermal paste here to help even out some of the heat transfer. So I did a really thin layer on half of it there, did a quick test fit, and it did not transfer. So the actual center die there sticks up just slightly higher than the outside. So there might be some out there that are the same height that would work on, but on this card at least, no thermal paste was transferred, so that means there's no contact. So I'm going to finish getting this cleaned up. Looking at how much the pads squished though, thinking I could have gotten away with ones. They squished out quite a bit. I'm glad I did individual pads so they had room to move though. So I'm going to get this guy some fresh paste on here and finish putting it back together. As always, I'm adding that little washer for the spring screws, just get a little more tension. But on this one, it looks like it's bare metal there. I know the screw is metal, but since I'm adding a washer, I'm just going to add this little paper washer as well. Don't want to use too thick of washers, and don't over tighten the screws, but it just helps with tension a little bit. If you over tighten it too much, you could crush the GPU die, so be careful. Don't break nothing. Cool, back together. Definitely like the construction on these. I've never taken one apart, but the build quality is so nice on these. Just the way they separated out the heat sink and everything, you know, just the 6 screws to put that all back together, and the way they have the fan plugs at the back. Like, it's just a really nice build. So if I can find more of these, I will get more. I'm gonna get back in the rig, see what temps look like. Alright, I'm going to call that a success. So it looks like we've dropped about 10 degrees off of the memory, about 9 degrees off of the hotspot, and 3 degrees off of the core. That was definitely an improvement. I did go with the 1.5 millimeter G-Lit Extreme. You might be able to get away with 1 millimeter because they did squish out a lot, but I have 2 more of these cards that I'll probably do pads on, so I'll probably try 1 millimeter next time. I have added it to the list of notes. So if you see something here, these are all the cards I've done and the sizes I've used. These are all G-Lit Extreme. This project took me 1 hour and 7 minutes to complete. If you enjoyed the video, hit that like button. Thanks for hanging out today, guys, and I'll see you on the next one. Later.